There's over 200 countries in our world. I'm sure you've heard of all of the larger ones at least once. But there are some tiny countries with just a few people living in them I'm sure you've never heard of before. These countries may not be big, but they are fascinating, confusing, and at times scary. Stick around to see just how small these countries can get. Hutt River. Australia is a massive country, but within it is another country, Hutt River. The Principality of Hutt River was founded by Leonard Castley. Hutt River has a population of just 30 people. There was a dispute between the Australian government and 5 families over wheat. The Australian government said they owned some fields of wheat, but the 5 farming families disagreed and said they owned it. That's when Leonard used the British Treason Act to make Hutt River a country. It has its own currency, stamps, and passports. And today Leonard goes by His Royal Highness Prince Leonard I of Hutt. For many years, Australia and Hutt River had peace. But recently things heated up again. That's when the Australian government said Hutt River was behind $3 million in taxes. The case is now going to the Australian High Court, so we'll have to see what happens. Niue. Niue is a tiny island in Oceania. It looks amazing, like a tropical paradise. But despite this, because it's so small, there's barely any tourism. The country depends heavily on foreign aid from New Zealand. Its capital city has less than 600 people, but the country has its own airport and supermarket. That's right, just one supermarket for the entire country. The population of Niue is around 1,190 people. Despite being so small, this country is action-packed. You can get around pretty much everywhere on a motorbike. And all around the island, you can watch humpback whales nurse their calves. Tropical diving is also very popular in the country, and it's even the world's first free Wi-Fi nation. This means there's free wireless internet all over the island wherever you go. I might just have to take a trip to this place. Sadly though, the country is in decline. Most of the younger people leave and emigrate to New Zealand in hopes of better job opportunities. Sealand. The Principality of Sealand is one of the world's smallest countries. It covers just 0.004 square kilometers, and with a population of 27 people, it's pretty tiny. Amazingly though, it's still not the smallest country on this list. Sealand sits in a concrete and steel construction in the North Sea. If you swim 6 miles off the coast of Suffolk, England, you can actually find this country. The country was founded by Roy Bates. His title is His Royal Highness Prince Roy of Sealand. He lives in Sealand with his family members and some friends. Sealand even has its own national anthem, and its own motto, Imer Libertas, which is Latin for From the Sea, Freedom. If you make a donation to this country, you can get an official noble title. Maybe I'll do that and become Lord Charlie of Sealand. Palau. The Republic of Palau is a tiny island nation. In fact, it consists of more than 300 islands in different sizes. Palau is one of the most amazing places in the world. It has rainforests full of amazing plants and birds, and its waters are inhabited by more than 130 species of sharks. But its most amazing attraction has to be Jellyfish Lake. This is a lake with more than 2 million jellyfish in it. Amazingly, you can even swim in it, as over time they've lost their ability to sting. The tiny nation covers only 459 square kilometers, and it has a population of 21,347. Segorga. Everyone knows the famous Italian micronation of Vatican City, but less people know about the Principality of Segorga. This place is 4.91 square kilometers, and there's only 312 people living in it. The territory is ruled by His Tremendousness Marcello I. You can find this place in northwestern Italy. It's actually on the border with France. The country was founded in 1963 when they believed they were separate from Italy. Things have been pretty peaceful with Italy and Segorga. This is mainly because the inhabitants still have to pay Italian tax and vote in Italian elections. Right now, there's even political arguments in the country. His Tremendousness Marcello I is being challenged for his place as the ruler of Segorga. This is by His Serene Highness Nicholas I. He set out a 5-year plan for building up the country even more. Maybe instead of paying attention to the US election this year, we should pay attention to Segorga instead. Nauru. Nauru is the smallest island country on the planet. It does not have an official capital or public transport as it's so small. It's only got about 25 miles of road, and the island itself is only 21 square kilometers. Unfortunately, this amazing place is not very popular with tourists. That's because of various environmental problems. Nauru is also one of the most obese countries in the world. Its obesity rate is more than 70%. The reason why is because you can't grow much healthy food on the island. They have porous land, meaning that farming is next to impossible. Nauru has a population of 9,591 people. In the 1900s, Nauru has been pretty rich. That's because they used to mine lots of phosphate. But recently the demand for the mineral has ended. This has led to nearly 90% unemployment, and it also means that there's tons of trash and abandoned mines and factories all over the island. Sadly, Nauru is a rags to riches to rags again story. Tuvalu. Tuvalu is quite near to and is very similar to Nauru. The country is composed of 9 small coral islands. It spans 26 square kilometers and has a population of just 10,959 people. They're one of the poorest countries in the world, but most of their money actually comes from internet domains. Because of the country's name, they've been given the internet domain .tv. Of course, in most of the world, this is short for television, and this means that everyone who wants a .tv domain for their website has to pay Tuvalu. This makes the country millions of dollars every year, and it's their main economy. That's pretty lucky, seeing as this country has been around for a lot longer than the internet or TVs. Tuvalu is also a very scenic place and looks pretty amazing. But if you want to see it, then go soon, as it may disappear in the future. That's because rising sea levels are making Tuvalu smaller every single year. St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis are 2 islands, but 1 country. Its main source of income is its economic citizenship program. This allows anyone who has at least $250,000 to invest in the local sugar industry. In exchange for that, they get citizenship of St. Kitts. Another way of getting citizenship here is simply by purchasing a property worth more than $400,000. They're doing this to grow their tiny population of 52,329 people. The island is only 261 square kilometers. The Sovereign Military Order of Malta. Everyone knows that the Vatican City is its own country inside the territory of Rome. But it's not the only one. There's also the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, not to be confused with the country Malta. This area is 0.01 square kilometers. It occupies around 3 buildings, 2 of which are located in Rome and the 3rd is on the island of Malta. The country has its own currency, stamps, website, car number plates and passports, and a very small population of 13,000 people. Molossia. Molossia is the smallest country in the world. It has a population of only 7 people. It can be found in Nevada, USA, and anyone who lives there pays no taxes to the US government. The country is 0.00518 kilometers squared. It has its very own currency made on poker chips. It's ruled by His Excellency Kevin Barr, the president of the country. You may think that Kevin made this country for more freedom and liberty, but no. In fact, spinach, tobacco and catfish are banned in Molossia. There are 25 holidays in a year, and cookie dough is its national food. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below which of these countries you would want to go to the most. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my 2nd channel. But as always, thanks for watching. There are some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.